So watch how it changes from Acts 10:28 to First Peter 2:12. These are the references I'm going to refer to in the Bible: Acts 10:28 and First Peter 2:12. In Acts 10:28 it says, "And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God hath shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean." So Peter's saying that the Jewish saved up till 10 were not meeting with Gentiles or Samaritans. They were only meeting with Jewish people. That's why it says in Acts 2 that we're Jews, devout men out of every nation, and proselytes. The word proselyte, as I've said in other videos many times, the word proselyte is a key. When salvation is of the Jews, the word proselyte will be in effect. Proselyte means, like Ruth the Moabitess was born a Moabite Gentile, and she became a Jew called a proselyte. She left her people and their gods and became a Jew and did everything Israel was doing, followed their God. And so they're not even meeting with, according to Peter, he said, it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or even come unto one of another nation. Even coming unto one of another nation. So for obviously most churches have it wrong. They're not, you know. That's why Jesus spoke of how they were going and making proselytes out of the nations. Because if they were to go convert a non-Jew, they would have salvation being of the Jews. When salvation was of the Jews, they were making proselytes out of Gentiles. So turn to 1 Peter 2:12, and it completely changes. The script completely changes. And in 2:12 it says, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the days of visitation. So it flipped the script completely. We're not supposed to talk to anybody that's not a Jew. We're not even supposed to approach anybody that's not a Jew to they're having a whole conversation with non-Jews. Having your conversation, they're even having a whole conversation with non-Jews. What happens is Israel as a nation rejects Jesus as their Messiah, and then God goes to the Gentiles to provoke Israel to jealousy. So where God is, the saved Jews that were eventually kicked out of Israel, they have to join the Gentiles, which are, see, Jesus, when he's talking to the Jewish leaders, he says he'll take the kingdom of God from them and give it to a nation that will believe, bringing forth the fruits thereof. So he goes from the Jewish leaders to the Gentile nation. And so where God is, his people need to be. When Israel is fully fallen away, reserved for the Great Tribulation, the Jews which believed in Jesus were kicked out, scattered. It even opens up in 1 Peter that they're scattered in the Gentile nations. And so God has gone to the Gentiles to provoke Israel to jealousy in 1 Peter. But he hadn't done so in Acts 10. As Peter was saying, it's not lawful for me to talk to you, as you're not even a Jew. So you could see the differences, how it's completely different. It's contrary. It's different ages. Salvation no longer of the Jews when Israel has fully rejected as a nation Jesus as their Messiah. You can see how the conversation goes from I can't talk to you, I can't visit you and talk to you, to 1 Peter 2:12, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, a whole conversation. It just completely changes because they're kicked out of Israel and God has gone to the Gentiles to provoke Israel to jealousy. See you next time.